In today's video, we're going to look at some of the least impressive and worst Division I college sports stadiums. Personally, when I think of Division I football, I think of something like this. For baseball, it's a little bit different, but most stadiums are still really nice, and basketball has some great arenas. In football, some of the Power 5 schools have stadiums just as large or larger than NFL stadiums. For example, the Big House, where Michigan plays football, has a capacity of 107,000. That's the largest capacity of a sports stadium in America and third largest in the world. The largest NFL stadium is the Cowboys with a capacity of 82,000. But obviously, there's a huge difference in colleges, even at the Division I level. Some conferences are not as competitive, and others don't have nearly as many students enrolled. But Division I is still the highest level, so you would expect the stadiums to be at a pretty high level as well. The first stadium we'll look at is Quinnipiac Baseball Field in Hamden, Connecticut. This is where the Quinnipiac baseball team plays, and it opened in 1967. As you can see, it looks like a high school field. Now, a lot of the schools in the Mack conference are pretty small, but the enrollment of Quinnipiac is almost 10,000. They also have a pretty nice basketball/hockey arena that has a capacity of about 3,500. But their baseball field does not even have a capacity listed. Many fans going to games bring their own chairs to sit on. There are just a couple of bleachers behind the fence around home plate. At least the field has dugouts, but beyond them there is no fence all the way to the outfield walls. There is also a hill in right center on the playing field, as you can kind of see in this picture. Overall, this looks like something you would maybe see in Division III. The dimensions are 340 feet to left, 400 to center, and 325 to right. On the bright side is that the field has a really good view of the trees. Now, after the 2023 season, they're going to be getting a new field and going to be playing on turf. We will see how the new stadium turns out and how nice it is. There are a few Division I baseball stadiums in the Northeast that are similar to this. We won't go through all of them, but it's crazy to think that Division I programs play on these kind of fields. It just goes to show you how not that many people are interested in college baseball, I guess. Another college in the Mack that has a strange baseball field is Marac College. It looks like the baseball team, softball team, and soccer all share a sports field. It's turf, and for baseball, the softball infield is in left field. Center field also cuts in at some odd angles. A temporary fence is put up in right field to make it a little bit shorter there during games, but it makes it look even more strange. The seating capacity is 1,200, which is not bad, and the complex seems new and in good shape. It's just the actual shape of it that's really weird. Based on this, I would guess that the college needed to make the most of the space that they had. It's located in Buffalo, New York, and Marac College has an enrollment of about 2,600 students. Moving on to football, Sam Houston State plays at Bowers Stadium in Huntsville, Texas. Sam Houston plays in Conference USA, and the football stadium has a capacity of 14,000. It opened in 1994, and kind of looks like it was built into a hill. There are really just two sections of seats, with one large bleacher section on each side by the 50-yard lines. There's also a track going around the football field. In the upper middle sections of the home side seats, there are actual seats instead of bleachers, and these are colored orange. Above that area is the press boxes. Overall, this stadium is the smallest FBS field by capacity, and also one of the weirdest fields. In basketball, Mack College is a Division I team in the Mack, located in Andover, Massachusetts. They play basketball at Hamel Court, which has a capacity of 1,200. But their arena literally looks like a high school gym. The bleachers slide out, and there's not a lot of space in general. The ceilings also look pretty short, and you can see the baseball and softball batting cage nets hanging from the ceiling. Just this year, Mack played Ohio State at their 18,000-seat arena. They also went to Georgetown, who plays in a 20,000-seat arena, and University of Florida and University of Cincinnati's arenas, among others. And then they came home to play in this. It seems crazy, but it's true. It just goes to show you how crazy the Division I level of college sports are. Speaking of Mack, their baseball team doesn't even have a field. According to their website, they play at the Warrior Baseball Diamond, which looks less than ideal, but that's not true. That stadium was actually demolished and appears to be a parking lot now. Now they play their games at a high school about 12 minutes away, called Greater Lawrence Technical High School field. The field is turf and it looks decent, but again is a high school field. I could see a Division III program doing this, but for Division I it seems crazy. To be fair though, Mack used to be a Division II school and only started moving up to Division I in 2019. In Division I FCS football, Dain University plays at Arthur J. Rooney Athletic Field. While it's a very nice park with a good view, it does not look like a college football stadium. It looks like a city park that I would go to with my friends. The university is located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right outside of downtown. The field is right next to the river, and the playing surface turf looks very nice. The capacity is only 2,200 though, and most, if not all of it, seems to be on one side. Most of it is bleachers, but there's a cool press box area with some actual seats in the middle. The stadium is actually pretty cool, just very small. Again, for some contrast, the last 3 years, this football team played against West Virginia, Florida State, and TCU. They were all on the road, and some of those games had upwards of 50,000 fans at them. Then they came home to play in front of 2,000 at basically a high school field. If they added some seats, this could be one of the nicer FCS stadiums in my personal opinion. Now, the worst Power 5 school stadium has got to be Vanderbilt. They play at First Bank Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. As you can see, the sports stadiums at Vanderbilt are all very close together. The football stadium first opened in 1922, but was rebuilt in 1981. The capacity is a little over 40,000. The stadium seats are in the shape of a U and is mostly a bowl except for one end of it. Construction is being done to improve the stadium, and during the 2023 football season, they played home games despite the construction, and it caused some problems. Back to baseball, Long Island University plays at the LIU Baseball Stadium located in Westbury, New York. I'm not sure if you can even call this a stadium. To be blunt, it looks pretty bland and boring, very similar to Quinnipiac. At least it appears to be completely fenced in. But for seating, I just see a couple of small bleachers. Around the stadium is just fields of grass and other sports fields. I also saw this picture of a Long Island University baseball field. I'm not sure if this is just for practice or if they actually ever play games here. Either way, this field is very interesting and looks kind of like one of the fields from backyard baseball. Back to basketball, Syracuse University in Syracuse, New York plays at the Carrier Dome. This dome is also shared with the football team. The capacity is 49,000 for football, but for basketball it's 33,000, which is an insane amount. They have set many attendance records because of this, and it's also very loud. But the downside is putting the basketball court on the football field looks really strange. The stadium is far too big for basketball, and temporary bleachers have to be put up. Some people say it's a bit much, and that basketball should have their own arena. It also has been known to throw off other teams shooting with the extra open space. This may or may not be true, but either way, it's pretty strange looking. For the final stadium on the list, we will look at Hillsboro Stadium. This is the home of the Portland State University football team in Hillsboro, Oregon. This stadium looks really strange. The capacity is 7,600, and the stadium opened in 1999. It's a multi-use facility, and you can see that the Portland State softball team also plays there as well, with the infields on the end. For football, there's mainly just one grandstand with a bit more seating at the side. There's lots of open space on the other side with no seats, and above the grandstand is an overhang. Overall, it looks very strange. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.